before I jump in. Welcome, everyone. My name is Rachel Garcia. I'm going to be sharing some information with you today that I know beyond of a shadow of a doubt could be life-changing for you and your family. It was life-changing for my family when we first looked at this way back in 2008. That was 15 years ago. My brothers called me and said, we have a business we'd like you to take a look at. And I was practicing medicine full-time as a physician assistant in 2008. I saw 60 patients a day, wrote 200 prescriptions a day when I wasn't in the OR, cutting cancers out of my patients. I just had my second child. So my husband had a 9-month-old and my husband and I had a 9-month-old and a 3-year-old. And we had invested $100,000 in 2 separate businesses the previous 6 months, a construction company and a skincare retail store. So I had a brick and mortar location with employees and paperwork and taxes and inventory and all that fun stuff. So when I finished with patients at 7, I would go run that business. And my brothers knew that I was into multiple streams of income. And I had kind of come to that conclusion because while I made really good money as a PA, more than most doctors actually, because of the field that I was in, I had a nanny who my kids called mom. So I worked 12 plus hours a day. I was a hard worker. I knew from a very young age that I never wanted to be struggling financially. I'm from a family of 7 children and we always struggled financially. And I thought the answer was to go to school, get good grades, get a good job. And yes, I made good money, but I could never see my kids. And that was frustrating to me. So I started thinking of additional ways to create income. And my husband and I launched these 2 companies and we were like really excited and felt kind of scared about it, taking a big risk. And that's where I was when I was called about this company. I said, I've already launched 2. I have no time for another business. Plus my patients every day were asking me to take a look at this, that, and lots of other things. So I agreed because they said, you can say no, just know what you're saying no to. Give me an educated no. And that made a lot of sense to me. But it wasn't the business that attracted me. It's not the business that made me call them later that day and say, I'm totally in. It was the health aspect of what the company offers. So a lot of people are attracted to Pure for a bunch of different reasons. But usually boils down to one of these 2 reasons, health or income. I was attracted to the health. My nephew had just been diagnosed with severe autism in 2008, and I knew nothing about autism. And I started doing a lot of research after sitting with the doctor and hearing him tell my sister, Bo will never speak. You will never have more than the mind of a 3-year-old. I have a master's degree in clinical medical sciences as a physician assistant, and I had a lot of questions. So I didn't Google and I didn't go to Wikipedia. I went deep into the medical libraries and archives to find out what is autism and why did he have it. On top of that, I had a 9-month-old who had vaccinations scheduled that week, which I canceled because I didn't know. Is it genetic? Is it vaccinations? And I began doing an extensive amount of research. One of the books that I read was this book called The China Study. And the whole back of this book is literally all published research articles, and started learning about nutrition has a massive impact on our health, which I did not learn in medical school. And if you don't know why we didn't learn that in medical school, you should read the book, The Truth About Cancer. We're taught about pharmacologic medications in medical school and what we can prescribe to our patients. And so once I learned about nutrition, I was all in. I knew I wanted to give my family the best nutrition that I possibly could. So I bought the expensive stuff from the health food store. I was doing my research before I went, and I would go and I'd buy what I want. It was a drive, 30 minutes across town, but it was important. We had an organic garden. I had the big juicer. I was doing all of that. And that's when my brothers shared this company with me. And they started talking about cleansing your body of toxins, balancing out your pH, getting alkaline. No one was talking about that in 2008. Pouring plant-based nutrition in and the importance of it. And I was like, who are these people and where did they come from? And they'd been using this cleanse, balance, build philosophy in a clinical practice for 30 years with patients. And the results were so good. There was a 3-year waiting list for people to get in, and they said, we're going to start a company. So me, having practiced medicine for 10 years at that point, I was like, 30 years is a long time. I compared what I had, my bags and my bottles, to what they had. I'm like, their stuff is better. I'm in. Click of a button, give it to me. As time went by, things started to happen in our house. My sleep issues resolved in a week. My son's horrible constipation issues resolved in days. My husband, who struggled with severe anger and depression issues, gone in 6 weeks. And 3 months later, my nephew was speaking, and we were told that he never would. And so as a result of that, I became almost just ethically obligated to share this. Like, I have to tell people about this company. It's better than prescriptions. Prevention is better than prescriptions, guys. So I began to share it excitedly, and checks began to come in. Although the checks were small, they're like, 57, 137, 87, 337. And it wasn't going to replace my PA income, which is truly what I was looking to do with the skincare store. But what was crazy is I was spending 30 minutes a day on it. Maybe not even that. I was literally calling somebody every day and saying, hey, I found something, you need to take a look. And so for me to start making checks without very much effort was interesting. I joined for the simplicity. I joined because it was easy. I could recognize the truth and it was a click of a button. It was going to save me a lot of time. That's why I joined. Easy. I'm still here today because of the real results. Because I've helped tens of thousands of people throw prescriptions in the trash. Because we have multiple medical doctors joining us every week. Because they know prevention is better than prescription. I'm here for the real results. But I have a question for you. Imagine we're back 15 years ago, okay, 2008, 2009, and someone comes to you and says, hey, there's this online company called Amazon. Believe it or not, I used to poll the rooms in 2008 and 2009, 30% of the hands would go up when I say, who knows about Amazon? We used to buy a lot on retail back then. We used to go to the stores and buy things back then, okay? So imagine somebody came to you and said, this company sell everything online, and each year they're selling more. And we're looking for somebody to promote us. And if you get a membership and then you tell others to get a membership, we're going to give you 10 to 50% of everything that anybody you ever tell about Amazon ever purchases for the rest of their lives, for the rest of your life. And if they tell anybody, you're going to get a percentage of that too. Would you have seen it? I polled a room in Montana last week. 100% of the hands went up. They all had Amazon subscriptions. I believe that's what this is like. I believe that in 10 years, maybe 15, everybody will have a pure membership. I believe everybody should have a pure membership because we have the best of the best in nutrition at the best prices. It's simple. It's easy. So I believe this is a business. This is a business that if you spend a small amount of time on it every single day, 5 days a week, it can create weekly checks for you for decades to come. How big those checks are totally up to you. How is this different from any other business that I might start? I'm glad you asked. I wish someone had talked to me when I was in my early 30s and all excited about starting a skincare retail store about the fact that that business is only for a small demographic. It's really only for the women. It's really only for the women who will spend $100 plus per month on their skin. You want to start a business that's for everyone. Cure is for everybody who has a body. If you have a body, it is literally your number one asset, guys. You probably don't treat it that way, right? We treat our phones and our cars and our houses that we get. We live in multiple houses throughout our lives. We can replace this. You cannot replace your body. It's the one thing you cannot replace, but we treat other things better than that. But when it starts to hit the fan, people start to suddenly get very interested in health and nutrition, right? Last 2 years, very interesting. Everybody, man, woman, child, their parents, even the dogs and the cats. For everyone, it's a consumable product. How many of you have bought Cutco knives? You've bought vacuum cleaners. You've bought water purifiers from a friend. I personally think that's a horrible business model. Once they sell their Cutco knives to their friends and family, now what? They have to go find cold contacts and cold calling? Oh, no, thank you. Not interested in that. You want something that people will repurchase. If you're going to be selling it, you want something people repurchase month after month. And so that's the key here. Why do people repurchase? Because we have the best. Our products are better than anything else you can find out there. They work. 93 out of 100 people who purchase our starter packages repurchase. So if 100 people purchase our starter pack, a month later, 93 of them will repurchase a couple of products to go forward with. Why would they do that? Because they can tell that it works. The business model is touted as one of the best to get started in as a new entrepreneur. The majority of the people I usually talk to are employees. All right. So Richard Branson says everyone should have a small business. Why? For the tax benefits. And I have somebody that I know very well who's worked in the school system her entire career. She usually, as most employees do, gets money back every time the taxes are filed. And last year she was set to get $900 back. And she calls me and says, I'm a brand partner with Pure. And I remember you saying I can get tax benefits. What does that mean? Well, you can write off your investment. You can write off what you purchase from the company to keep your business going, which is your monthly food that you're consuming and supplements that you're consuming. And she went from getting $900 back to $3,900 back. Just like that. That's why Richard Branson says it's a brilliant business. Tony Robbins says it's a brilliant business because of the small startup cost. I didn't think it was a business. The investment was less than my monthly overhead. Okay, so for those of you, again, not business minded, I had to pay monthly to keep my brick and mortar skincare store running. Employees' salaries, the rent, keep the light bill on, the shipping costs for the products we shipped out. I didn't get to eat or consume any of that. It was just monthly costs to keep that going. My investment here that I got to eat was less than my monthly cost with my skincare store. My monthly cost to keep the business running, I was already doing because I was buying the healthy organic vegetables and I was doing the healthy supplementation, the best of the best. So it was less than I was already spending. So I did not see it as a real business. The real key is what Robert Kiyosaki talks about. If you have never read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, get it on Audible. You guys listen to it. It talks about being an employee and being handcuffed to your job. If you stop your job, you stop getting checks, you can't make your mortgage payment. Maybe you have a small business like I did and you have a handful of employees. You're still not free. You can't go to Europe for 3 months if you want to because they need you. If somebody calls in sick, who's going to fill in? So you have to have a couple hundred employees before you typically have freedom. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki came out with the book, The Business of the 21st Century, around 2010. This opened my eyes because he's the reason I opened my skincare store. It opened my eyes because he said this business model is the business of the 21st century because there's literally no financial handcuffs and the ability to leverage your time from other people. So what does that mean? Rachel, are you leveraging your time with whoever I am sitting on here today? No, whoever invited you is leveraging their time with me. What are they doing right now? Working their full-time job? They're a teacher at school. They're whatever it is they do. They're not on. I'm on. Giving my time to work their business for them. Do you have someone working your business for you while you're on vacation, while you're doing other things? Again, what are you doing right now that if you spend 30 minutes a day on it, 5 days a week, will pay you weekly checks for decades to come? If I move to New Zealand tomorrow, leave my computer and my phone at home, take my boys, take my husband, I will make more money in 2023 than I did in 2022 with Pure because of the work I did years ago. Do you have something like that? So usually only actors and singers have that kind of royalty fees and passive income from work they did years ago. That is why those 3 brilliant men that we all know them say this is a brilliant business model. I was intrigued by how it started in the clinical practice for 30 years. I'm like, I can't out-research 30 years. Give it to me. They decided to start the company because there was a 3-year waiting list to get in. See, a lot of people go, ooh, health and wellness. If you're business minded, what should I start a business in? You don't want to do typewriters, they're out. You don't want to do a photography store, a camera store, that's going, right? You want to do, what's the future? What will definitely be here in 10 years? Health and wellness, okay? So a lot of companies like scientists and have them formulate some new vitamin C that is oxygenated or a patch or something you sniff. That's the future. We didn't do that. We were already using it in a clinical practice. And so the results are so good. There's such a demand. We've got to get it out. So it was already being used. We're going to do word of mouth just to spread the news. And I believe it works so well because after 20 years of practicing medicine and 10, 15 years of being involved with peer, I believe these 3 things. The majority of Americans, humans, are sick, struggling with disease and infection. So whatever thing you're struggling with, it's the result of these 3 things. We're toxic. We're drinking out of plastic water bottles. Our foods are being sprayed with pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides. We don't sleep enough. We're not getting enough exercise. We're pouring acidic foods into our bodies. Both of these books talk about that. Why do some people struggle with their health in their 40s and 50s and others don't? It all comes back to what you eat. If you're eating more meat, dairy, sugar, soda, coffee, and bread than you are plants, you're in trouble. I'm just going to tell you now, you're in trouble. And you might think I'm fine, but there will come a time when you're like, I wish I'd taken better care of my body. Prevention is better than prescription, and we make it easy here. The lack of nutrition is crazy, and it's affecting even the kids now. The studies are showing it. Whatever's in your genetic pipeline, guys, whatever your parents are struggling with, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, depression, arthritis, it's going to hit you. Likely going to hit you unless you got really good genes sooner or later. The question is when, and it'll likely hit you sooner than it hit them, unfortunately, because of the lack of movement, because of the poisons we're consuming, because of our acidic food and the lack of nutrition. It'll hit your kids even faster. So we have a better way. There's always people who say, oh, I can just get it from my food. No, you can't. You can't. Studies came out 10 years ago. Multiple studies came out showing you have to eat about 8 oranges, 80 cups of spinach, 99 ears of corn, and 2 cups of wheat 10 years ago, 12 years ago to get what our grandparents got from one of each of those things. This is why we have an obesity pandemic. And the companies that make the fast food and the processed food, man, they're just banking. They're just taking it all in. Yeah, eat more, supersize it, get more, and we're starving. We're literally starving. Cleanse, balance, build is a centuries-old philosophy. It was utilized in that clinical practice, and it's what Pure is all about. We have multiple medical doctors on our advisory panel. We have multiple products in the physician's desk reference. We've been around 15 years. People say to me all the time, how come more people don't know about it? Because we can't post that someone's triglycerides went from 8,000 to 200 on Facebook or online. There are companies, organizations that don't like it when we recommend prevention over prescription. Why are medical doctors joining us on a weekly basis? Because they know we've been doing it for years. Prevention is better than prescription. We don't like the average American who's over 50 is on 5 prescriptions and we're trying to figure out what interacts with what. Prevention is better than prescription. We have a multitude of products, over 50. They're fantastic, all of them. All of them are fantastic. We have immune boosters. We have a metabolic reset that incorporates all of our starter packages that I'm about to talk about, that cleanses and balances and builds your body and gets your metabolism burning. You're eating every 3 hours. We're telling you what to eat. If you want to lose weight, lose fat, oh, we've got a plan for you. The metabolic reset. We've got a sports line. My entire family is in the gym for an hour to 2 hours every day. All of us utilize the sports line. There's so much it can confuse people. So I've learned over the 15 years, let's zero in on what does somebody have to start with? Do not pick and choose products here. You won't see results. I've been doing it 15 years, okay? This is what we found. Out of 100 people who start on one of our 2 starter packages, 93% repurchase, okay? So that's a big deal. Why? Because it works. The average person who starts with our starters package within 30 days, and there's a 30-day satisfaction guarantee, feels 6 things. Notices 6 things. Sleeping like a rock. That was me, by the way. I had horrible insomnia. It was gone within a week, which leads to loads of energy. No more afternoon crashes, need for naps, pots of coffee, or energy drinks, or whatever that's killing your kidneys that you put in your body to keep going. Okay, pain reductions. One of the first things that people in my office started saying, I don't need my fill halfway through the day anymore. Bowel improvement, whether you go too much or too little. Bowels are a serious issue in our country. Crohn's disease, diverticulitis, IBS, hemorrhoids, constipation, you name it, we've got it. You have bowel issues, what do you have to lose here? Okay, that's a serious problem. Weight loss without trying. I lost 32 pounds in 3 months without trying, and I had been trying. And then lastly is your mood, but you don't notice the mood. Everyone around you does. My husband struggled with severe depression and anger. And I don't know that he noticed it. I mean, it was just him. It was who he was, but he knew how it affected us in the household. We have not seen those severe ups and downs and mood swings and rages in 15 years. My boys are 15 and 18. They have never seen their dad the way I did our first 10 years of marriage. We'll be married 25 years in April. And I'm telling you, Pure was a life changer, marriage saver. So this encompasses all the cleansing of the 7 channels of elimination that we have: lungs, liver, skin, lymphatic system, kidneys, blood, and intestines. They have to be cleansed out. Think of this as a servicing. You know, you take your car in for a servicing every 10,000 miles. If you don't, it's not going to make it 200,000 miles. There's signs that it needs to be serviced. We just had an air conditioner guy come down to our Airbnb and gave us this huge quote on an air conditioning servicing. If we don't do it, the air conditioning will break. When was the last time you serviced your body? And there's signs that you need to, right? Not sleeping well. I have pain in my stomach. I have pain in my elbow. My hair's falling out. My nails are brittle. I have pooping issues. You go in. They do scans. They do your blood work. And they come back and they write you. Right? That's not a servicing. 30-day servicing. Think of our starter package as a 30-day servicing. Okay, so for 30 days, you're pouring plant nutrition and we're cleansing all the 7 channels out. At the end of 30 days, you feel a difference and they have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're over 40, you're severely lacking in nutrition and you're extremely toxic because of what we're consuming every day. You need the superfruits. So look at the Core Complete as a starter package. Noni, mangosteen, acai, goji have been used for over 3,000 years in the areas where they're grown. They've been studied here in the US for decades. And this is 100% of each of these superfruits. No pear juice, no apple juice, no mango juice added in to make it taste good. I don't need it to taste good. I just need it to work. Okay. There's a stomach flu going around in Jacksonville. I am downing Noni every single day because parasites cannot live in my gut when I'm consuming Noni. Okay. So this is my favorite starter package, the Core Complete. The 6 things that people typically feel: better sleep, more energy, less pain, better bowels, better mood, weight loss. What do you have to lose? Prevention is better than prescription. So do your body servicing. Oh, my kids won't take it. Oh, how do they get it in? My kids have been doing it since they were toddlers, slamming back superfruits in the morning, slamming back their calcium. They're plant-based, alkaline calcium, perfectly mixed with magnesium every morning. But think about it, guys. What do you struggle with? Insomnia, arthritis, pain, reflux, bowel issues. What do you have to lose? If these little kids can do it, what do you have to lose? Nothing. You have so much to gain. All right. So less than 30 seconds in the morning, my kids get more nutrition than their entire class gets in a week. And it is obvious when they take it and obvious when they don't. We have a shake that I now drink this every single day. We have training videos on how to get it in French toast and waffles and muffins. And you guys, we've got it all. You've just landed on the best place for your family's health. Okay. The best place for it. PureLifeChangers.com is a website where we have the doctors educating on the products, loads of testimonies, in-depth discussions of what each of the products is and why our multivitamin is better than anything else out there. Watch it, read it, get on that site, or just go back to the person who invited you and ask them why they invited you. I guarantee you they have a story. Some of you are watching on here right now. You can use the search box to look up any issues that you or your family struggle with. If you're not on this page, ask whoever invited you to add you to the page. And I call it TripAdvisor for Pure, right? You don't know me, but you can go look on here and you don't know these people either, and they have nothing to gain from just sharing their stories. So in the beginning, I just told people, it's kind of like a vending machine, right? You do, oh my gosh, I found the most amazing stuff. You've got to give it a try. They would listen to me and they would buy it and I'd get a little check, right? Something started to happen. For instance, Betty, I shared Pure with. Betty went to my church. Betty could not even barely walk to the mailbox every day, okay? She starts on our starter pack of Core Complete. And before you know it, not only is she going to the mailbox, she's walking around the block 2 times every day. She's meeting the neighbors. She's saying hi. She's remembering their names. And they're like, what in the world? Her kids are like, what in the world? So now she's getting people. Now she's become a vending machine and people are purchasing from her website. She doesn't store products at her house. They just go to her website and purchase. And the company's way of saying, thank you, Betty, for sharing it is they give her a check every time somebody purchases. Well, now she calls me and she's like, oh my gosh, all my neighbors are starting to give me these amazing testimonies and I'm getting checks every week. He's like, Rachel, I'm in my 70s. I'm on a limited budget and I'm getting checks every week. Yes, that was eye-opening for me. As a PA, I affected people every day. I was used to changing people's lives. I did my best to leave a positive impact on the 60 patients I saw per day. But this, I didn't know Betty's neighbors. They'd watched a video and then I affected their lives and Betty's now finances have been changed. I started to understand that we could truly impact the world. I started to understand that everybody deserves and should have access to a Pure membership, but the only way they'll find out about it is word of mouth. Word of mouth. That's what we're doing here. So my goal is to help people achieve whatever kind of a life they've always dreamed of. It is the future. How many retail stores that you love have you watched go out of business? E-commerce is where it's going. Health and wellness, it will always be here. We have become awoken to the everything that's out there, right? We're looking for health and nutrition answers. It's here. Best of the best. This is the best nutrition you will ever find. LivePure.com is where you can go start shopping. Guys, the family package is if you have a family of 4 or more and you don't want to just service yourself. You're like, oh, my whole family serviced. That was me, by the way. I was like, I don't want the business. I want my whole family serviced. Throw the family package in. The Reset Plus is for 2 people to do our 6 weeks metabolic reset. We have a transformation challenge coming in January with cash prizes. And you literally start with the Core Complete. It includes the Core Complete, the starter pack, plus metabolic boosters and fat burners and all kinds of great stuff. So just throw whatever you want. The family package includes the sports line, by the way. It includes the immune boosters. It includes the metabolic reset. It includes the superfruits. The family pack's the best. And then when you check out, it's going to say, do you want to save money and be a preferred customer? Yeah. You don't have to pay a membership fee like you do with Amazon. You don't even have to sign up to order more products. But again, 93 out of 100 will. And this is how we become more affordable than our competition. Every time you purchase, you get 20% back in free products when you purchase through their Smart Ship program. So it's the opportunity to get a lot of products for free when you order on a regular basis. So preferred customer, great option. If you're sitting here going, what's the price? What's the price? You were looking at that Core Plus thing. What's the price? You're worried about the money because it's Christmas, right? And you only have so much money to spend this month. And you're nervous about the money. I remember being that way. Or you're thinking of people that need this. Or you're thinking, I need another stream of income. I only have one. I had somebody say that to me at the soccer field last night. Like, I've been watching your lives. I only have one stream of income. If I can't do my job, things will not be good. I've been thinking about what you said. Listen to this. It's $49 to start your business with Pure. You begin sharing and the sky is the limit. This is how I started. $400 here, $1,000 here, $2,000 here. Before I knew it, it matched what I made at my skincare store. Spent 3 to 4 hours a day on that sucker. I ended up closing my skincare store after 2 years with this. I was like, oh, spending 30 minutes a day on this and I've already matched and surpassed what I made at my skincare store. I'm out. Close that sucker down. $50,000 investment out the door. And then it matched what I made as a PA. Again, a small percentage of the time I'm spending on my PA job. I went to school for 8.5 years, spent $100,000 on my education, you guys. And I'm just a little phone call a day. Hey, Teresa, I found something amazing. I don't know if it's for you. Will you jump on today at noon and see if it is for you? See what you think. They're always like, what is it? I cannot explain to you in 3 minutes what it is. Just look. In 15 minutes, you'll know if it's for you or not. We're literally just getting people to the message. It's all we're doing. Before I knew it, I had teams popping up in New Jersey and California and Montana, all over the country and now all over the world. What does that mean? They're all their own vending machines. Every time they tell somebody, they make money, but then I get a percentage of the money because I told them. Sometimes I get percentages of money from people that I never had anything to do with. Let me tell you how that works. Whoever invited you probably invited 20 people to get on today, okay? And Bob is watching. Bob is like, I'm in, my health is crap. It's not getting better. It's getting worse every year. I work full time. I'm in debt. I have no idea how I'm going to even pay for the Christmas tree this year. I need help. Put me in. Put me in. Give me the family pack. My whole family needs servicing. I'm in. I probably can't touch it till at least January, but put me in. But also Beth and Leah, Kristen and Linda were on. Whoever invited you is only building 2 teams. So whoever calls first goes at the top of those 2 teams. And then after that, everybody else goes in underneath them. Everybody else. So Bob starts getting emails from Beth, or not from Beth, from the company. Beth just joined your team. Leah just joined your team. Brenda just joined your team. Bob's like, what does that mean? It means you're making money. It goes into a savings account every time Beth places an order, or Leah or Brenda or anyone they tell. Wait a minute, I can get money from that? Well, as soon as you start sharing, as soon as you start following the text that you're getting 30 minutes a day, and we teach you how to invite. Don't invite until we teach you. We've been doing this 15 years. We know how to invite. We know what to say. We know what not to say. All right. So this is going to be built for Bob. Whenever he's ready to start sharing it, he'll have a savings account built for him, likely if his sponsor is an inviter, and off we go. It is amazing. $49 to enroll. Military and students are free. Business packs are free. Your monthly overhead, well, they ask that you buy $140 a month of product. I was buying more than that from the nutrition store, so I just replaced that. But if you can't afford that, if your customers buy $140 a month, it's covered. You don't have to pay anything. Although I can't imagine sharing this and not using the products. And then you go place your first order. You can start wherever you want. Family Pack has been very popular this week. It's $4,000 worth of products for $2,500. We have a coupon for you. Where did my coupon? I lost it. I'll show it to you in a minute. We have a coupon for you to get 20% off of the $2,500. So it actually makes it $4,000 worth of products for $2,000. It's a great deal. Christmas time. $49 fee is waived. Shipping is waived. You get our 30-minute a day training. On top of that, you get into my VIP mentorship program. It's a brand new thing that's starting January, and you get access to my VIP leadership retreats that I put out twice a year. This is the best bang for your buck. If you have a family of 4 or more, nothing to lose. These are the coupons, and you get 4 of them to share with your people if you choose to come in with the Family Pack or the Reset Plus. Reset Plus is great as well. It's about $1,500. It's $2,000 worth of products for $1,500, and with the 20% off, you get it for $1,200. So $2,000 worth of products for $1,200. This is for 2 people to do the metabolic reset for 6 weeks. Includes the whole Core Complete as well as our sports line. You get your shipping fee, you get your fee waived, you get your membership fee waived, you get the 30 minutes a day of training. You don't get in the VIP program. So that's important to know. Okay, you won't have those weekly calls with me and the coaching from the leaders, but it's still a good place to start. And you will also get 4 of these. So going forward, you can choose whatever you want. You can do the Core Plus for $289 and pay the $49 fee. And now you're going to service your own body. And then you get the 30-minute a day training calls and get started. Core Complete's $414. Is your body worth a servicing? How much was your car servicing last time? How many cars have you had in your life? Think about it, guys. 30-day satisfaction guarantee. How do I make my money back? All the guys always ask me that. Well, I'll tell you the numbers. If 10 people get on and watch a presentation because you invited them, typically 3 to 4 decide to join. All right. If 4 people come in at the same package you came in at, you'll have made your investment back. Basically, you just got your health for free or your family's health for free. So guys, go to livepure.com, throw what you want into the bag. Go to checkout, choose to be a preferred customer or brand partner, get back to the person who invited you, let them know where you're at. And I'll just add, if you like to earn free trips, I love to travel, but I worked all the time and had 2 babies. So I never traveled. I mean, if we traveled, we went to Disney World or saw my mom in North Carolina. That was it. I've been to Europe 3 times. I've been to Hawaii 3 times. I've been on endless cruises. I've been to Bora Bora, Australia, and I've helped over 500 people earn free trips. In this picture right here, this is 50 people that we helped earn a trip to Amalfi Coast of Italy last year. Earlier this year, the company paid for all of it. These people all have teams of at least hundreds, if not thousands of people, just from getting invited to watch a presentation, plugging into our 30 minutes a day of training and starting to share. All ages, all demographic, all walks of life. We've got everything you can imagine covered here. And our next trip is to Greece. And that the qualification period for that goes all the way through June of 2023. I'm telling you right now, I've seen people earn these trips in months, like a month. You can do this if you want to. So if you don't do anything, nothing will change. I can promise you that. And remember, there's no cap to what you can earn. When I started sharing, it was literally 30 minutes a day. When I started to get checks and they began to grow, exponentially grow, I thought, what if I call 3 people a day? Yeah, what if I spend an hour of a day on this? What if I close my skincare store and take that time and put it here? What if I stop working as a PA and spend that time here? Well, I walked away from practicing medicine in December of 2019. Because prevention's better than prescription. Medicine's changed from what it was when I graduated from PA school. I found a better way to help people. I do it very part-time on my own time when I want to. I have all the time I want with my teenage boys. And if I had been given the option of spend time with your kids as toddlers or spend times with them as teens, I would choose teens any day of the week. They need me now. They need me now. Thankfully, I had that time with them when they were toddlers because I made this choice. It took me a couple years to get going to see the potential here. Anything's possible. But if you're not doing something right now, if you spend 30 minutes a day on it, 5 days a week, we'll pay you for decades to come, weekly checks. Please take a look. If you're interested in getting your health on track, and that's all you're interested in, you have nothing to lose. Please get on track. So I go live, you guys, twice a day, Monday through Thursday, and daily on the weekend, once on the weekends through December 16th. I'll be live tonight at 8 o'clock. If you've been watching and you want somebody to hear this, get them on tonight at 8 o'clock. And I'll just give you a brief training right now. This is how it sounds. Hey, Barbara, I found something amazing. You need to look. You need to look. What is it? I can't explain it to you. Just look. You'll know within 10 minutes what your interest level is. After they watch, we make sure they get on Changing Lives with Pure, where they can type in whatever they're struggling with and look at all kinds of testimony on the weekly checks, on the arthritis, on the depression. They can look at all of it and make their own decision. If anybody has any questions, I talk to them later about their questions. And the reason I'm going daily, my presentation's over and I'm just going to talk now. If anybody has any questions, use the Q&A. The reason I'm going live daily is I've recently had something happen in my school that's convicted me greatly. My child is about to graduate as a senior from the school that he goes to. I'm on the parent council, the senior parent council. I'm very much an introvert, by the way. If you sit down next to me at a football field, I will probably I'm definitely not going to talk about Pure. I might talk to you, but I tend to sit by myself. And so with my husband of 25 years, I sent out an email a couple months ago that said senior pictures next week or whatever. My email address is rachel@purelifechangers.com. So one of the parents was struggling. She's a dentist, a very well-known dentist in our area. One of the parents was struggling with her health severely and had read all these books I'm holding up. She'd read them all, was going on her own nutrition journey, had gone vegan, was struggling with a lot of things, taking a lot of medications when she knew she didn't want to, but she had to see patients all day long, so she had to get through. She saw my email that said rachel@purelifechangers.com. And she said, I forgot Rachel does something with health. And she goes to purelifechangers.com. She spent 2 days on the website. She emails me. She didn't have my phone number. Our kids, we live a mile from each other, but our kids have been in school since they were kindergarten together. I need to meet with you. I need to meet with you about Pure. Okay. So she comes to my house and I start to tell my story. You guys heard that at the beginning. And she stopped me 2 minutes in. I'm just, give me the family pack. I've been on your website for 2 days. I'm in. Give me the family pack. A week later, she orders 4 more family packs. Her entire family's on Pure at this point. 2 months in, we're doing presentations in her dental office, her business, her partner, her employees are all on Pure. Many of them as customers, some of them as brand partners. Because she's off all of her medications and because her employees have said, we've known her for there. This is the office where people don't ever quit. They're there for like lifers. They've known her their entire life, decades. They're like, she's always taken this medications for her allergies. She's no longer taking meds for her plantar fasciitis. She's no longer vegan. And that convicted me greatly. And I thought, she's about to be out of my life. Her kid's graduating 5 months. She's about to be out of my life. And shame, she's not on Facebook. Shame on me for not being loud and proud and in your face annoying about it. Because she is going to change thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of lives. And it all started with one email that said Rachel@purelifechangers.com. So I don't know whose life you're meant to change, but I know I'm meant to change millions of lives. And if one way of doing that is me getting live and being honest and being raw and being real twice a day, Monday through Thursday, and once on the weekends, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a break December 16th through December 26th, and then I'm going to start up again the week after Christmas, not every day probably, but I will start back up again with regular lives per week, and we'll see how it goes from there. So I see no questions. I hope that this has impacted you and made you think. I know this is a time of the year where things are tight financially. I want to challenge you to say today, things will never be tight for me financially. This is the last time I will be tight in December. You have to do something you have to take action to get to that place where there's something different in the future. Okay. All right.